Mhm. Definitely want this. This is muted. Sorry. And then what I'm going to do, share my screen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here's the new link. I'll update the platforms. That's all I'm going to do. Instagram. Here. Fuck. That's in Shani. I'm going to post graphic one. Different location. Same destination. Hashtag growth. On that and that, and then I go to Facebook. Go here, honey, and I go to my pages. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where's my shit at? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? Different time, different location. Same destination. Hashtag growth. See you all soon. Link in every bio. Okay, fuck. I just did that. And then I'm going to go to Twitter. Just do that on the website. I just did Facebook and I did that. So I'm gonna take this. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Literally no one has time for this. And it's on Facebook too. Done. And then Oopsies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in there, and I'm going to giving Twitter. Did all of this stuff. Freaking cool. More here. Hey, good morning. Hey, y'all. Thank you for coming. You don't have to be here. So. I don't need to do this anymore. And that's fine. Okay. There's my Zoom. Okay. I still can't hear you. Still can't hear anybody. Man, I can't see you. Oh. That's right. So I can make it bigger or something. I can hear you now. I can't see the rest of you. There you are. Let's go. How you living, people? Can y'all see that I'm screen sharing? I can't see the rest of you. There you are. Let's go.
Oh, there's like a lag in like, there was just an echo in everything you said.
You have the YouTube open?
Hold on.
I think we all have to put our computer speakers on mute.
Yes, your YouTube channel has to be on mute.
Echo and everything.
Not the computer speaker, but the YouTube channel for sure. Mine is on mute. Not me. Yes, I don't hear an echo. That's amazing. Why can't I move this thing? Mine is on mute. Oh, I do hear an echo. Right. That's not what I'm trying to do here. First time. I can't like see what's going on here.
Interesting. I can only see. I gotta unmute myself.
So we put our YouTube speakers on mute.
You just go as if you are
I don't want this.
balancing the video.
Bless. Okay.
Oh,
That make it work?
Is it fixed?
Yes.
Oh, freaking bless.
Whew.
Okay, I'm turning that on.
to leave and come back. I'm in from my work account. I'm coming back.
Girls on the run.
I'm trying to get my top knot going. Are y'all okay? How are y'all doing? Let's do a check-in, right? Because we are doing a training right now. We're right about to do a training, and so let's make sure that we're okay. Okay.
How are you doing?
Y'all doing? I don't know where I wrote this, or if I sent it to you guys. I've been putting this script together forever, obviously, and I've been poring over it. And I really have been thinking a lot about how to not compromise my feeling, but to still be considerate of people's reception of my feelings. Does that make sense? And so I felt pretty good after like Monday. I felt pretty good before George Floyd with what I had put together. Sorry, I know that Ev is going to come back, and I have all these things happening, and I don't know. There it is. Okay, that's not what I want. Sorry. Peanut butter. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't want that. Hopefully that's her. Hold on one second. What the hell was I saying? And also, if Maddie, I think you do this all the time. Since I live like this, if I try to like jump around, I don't know where I jumped from sometimes, and I can't pick the thought back up. Maddie does this for me. Lisa does it for me. Like, I'll just stop talking and I'll look, and then they'll tell me whatever it is I said. I have a script here, so I think I'm going to be okay. But if that happens to me all the time. And I think it's an indication of how I'm doing. And it's just, I am operating, like firing on all cylinders in my mind, in my heart, in my body. But I felt so good. I had the script ready. And then last night I couldn't sleep. And so I started to rework it in my cell phone. And then at like 4:30, I was like, it is done. It is finished. Like I felt good, you know? And so I am still going to use our bones, but also this is a living discussion, you know? I think it makes people nervous for people to go off script, and it makes me nervous too, but I've practiced going off script in a professional way for 10 years, and I feel good to do it. So support me and go with me, even if it doesn't look like it's on here, yeah? Last thing about how I'm doing is I'm going to tell you how Choopsie is doing, because she called me a moment ago and wanted to just talk, and she wanted to approve her message with me, which is very silly because Choopsie knows that she is me. Like, she can do whatever she wants to. She can use any platform I have and say whatever she wants to, but she sounded kind of teary too. And so she tells me about some of her teammates who were like they're anti picking up the issue, or they're picking up the issue and they're treating it very lightly.
So some of her soul or rec teammates.
Rec. And so some people are going to the protest right now, and a very good friend of hers who's a white male. She asked him if he was going to go, and he was like, I want to, but I don't want to get shot. And I think the response from the team was, ha 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 ha. Not to pick at you, Maddie, but I think it was like your response to Joel, right?
Totally.
Which is just very dangerous, because if one person legitimizes it, then unfortunately that's the case for everyone.
Yep.
And so she was just very upset. And she blacked out. I think of when I reach down into the recesses of my Black experience, I black out and I try to pull them up so that somebody else can walk through it and then not treat me the same. And so she did that on the phone with her friend, her white male friend. And then he said, basically, damn, I'm fucking sorry. And I'm going to the protest right now.
Oh, damn.
Which was very exciting. And so I just say that to say,
trying to get back into the room.
Oh, damn, she's gone.
She said she's trying to get back in.
I'm here.
She looks into me. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I forgot. What I say? See, I'm like, practice.
So he went to the protest. He said he was
like,
going
I'm going. And then, but she still was just uneasy, because I don't think she does that kind of, that's Lisa. Just tell her one
second.
second.
Answer. Okay.
Don't answer. She's fine. She's fine.
Okay.
Because I still get 5 minutes. Shoot. And so after all of that, I don't think she does that very often, and she shouldn't have to. I didn't start doing it until I was well into my 30s. She's 23 or something. She read less stable than I've ever read her. And then asked me if she could say something. And then she shared it with me, and it just went straight through my heart, obviously. And I just encouraged her, like I'll encourage you guys, like I encourage myself, just tell the whole truth. I have a huge tattoo on my arm. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys this.
Hey, do you mind that us now on the YouTube?
What?
Lisa says people can hear us now on the YouTube.
That's okay.
There's 15 people watching.
There's 15 people.
I'm assuming they're mostly chat moderators.
This is the last thing.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the last thing I said?
Your tattoo.
Your tattoo.
Oh, this tattoo. Just tell the truth. I got this tattoo because I was afraid that I was gonna die. I will fill you in later. But I thought that, well, if I die, no one's gonna have to guess what I was about, because it's right here. And so I'm not dead, I'm alive. And so I'm gonna be all the more tell the whole truth. And I'm gonna stop talking because people are listening. But
I think they really like it.
That's hilarious.
They want more.
It must be our
Rebecca Smith wants to see your tat.
Hey, Tex.
So funny.
This is awesome.
You good? I'm sorry for asking y'all to come so early. I didn't know that people were gonna sign in. I thought like the last time it took us so long, you know, or maybe Evan, Adriana, don't know. It was kind of a nightmare, right?
No, yeah. Well, but there was a lot of this going on for the first. Yeah. So no, you figured it out. This is awesome. And tech never works the first time, which is why we're doing it the second time.
Totally.
I'm gonna stop screen sharing for 1 second because I'm not recording, and I think I want to get this stuff. Hold on a second.
Should we all stop and then come back at 7:30 or 7:25?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we're still here.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Coming back. I'm leaving.
That's hilarious. Yes, chat. I'm like, I think y'all can hear me, so this is awesome. I just stuck my finger in my nose. Please don't judge me. I'm gonna ask if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna ask at the open for people, because all kinds of people, my old students, people I used to go to church with, family, have been hitting me up talking about we're sliding through. So I'm gonna ask them to say, hey, Shani, Dan from Pensacola, whatever. And then at some point, I'm gonna ask a chat person, or I've already asked them to text me anything that they can grab from those shout outs so that at some point I can pause and just recognize some people. I can't recognize them all, but I really want to try. And I'm pausing myself. I'm muting myself. Bye.
Shini, are you looking at the YouTube channel? Because it looks like it has something happening like on repeat.
I am not looking at it, but hold on a second. Okay, Maddie, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
I feel kind of like a kid from like the 70s maybe who had like a can in their window and their best friend had a can in their window.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's weird. But also kind of cool because I love to time travel. I have someone that's helping me do the chat. And so I've checked on the sound and stuff and they told me it's good. So even if it's messed up for us, don't even worry about it. I'll wait until I get Shani, stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I'm muting myself.
Me too. Thank you. Oops.
Hi there. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Let's
Crystal clear.
go. I don't even want to look at the chat, you know. It feels weird not to be able to see them, but I don't even want to look at it. And it's technically 7:30. I think I will look. Just hold on one second. Chat, what's up? I know that there's a delay. And I want to wait just a couple of minutes so that all the people can get on. But if you're already on here, please do me a favor. People from my past and my present have been sliding into my DMs talking about I can't wait to support you. And I'm so thankful, but I also like to recognize you. So just put in the chat, hey, Shani, it's me, Damien from Pensacola, whatever. And then someone is going to give that information to me, and I'm going to try to shout y'all out because the support is real. The support is real. Panel, how are y'all doing? We're not starting. I'm just kind of, like, trying to track some. Those glasses look nice, Ed. Dang.
Thanks.
Right? And are those real bricks or is that brick wallpaper?
Oh, it's real.
Okay, that's even better. I love bricks. People did hear me, talking about whatever we talked about. But I think it's okay. Because the person I was talking about hit me up. And I was like, well, swing harder. Am I right? Let's see if the chat got back to that. Yes. Oh my God, they're actually doing it.
Oh yeah, they were
chat,
there.
should I wait till 7:35 or should I just get it? Oh my gosh, can you believe all these people? I'm like, Sam Luke, I freaking love you, dog. Dang. Y'all are bugging.
You should just be a welcoming committee for like
Kayla, I literally am going to call you out in the middle of my speech. I'll say it now though. Kayla Emmerich posted on Twitter the idea of organizing an anti-racist book club. Hit her up, and Kayla hit me up because I'm in and I'm already putting together a panel for it. I think it's going to be called something like On the First Fridays We Fight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you have to read a book every week?
Yes.
Or
and by have to read, get to read, yes, ma'am. We get to grow together, and together really is the most possible growth. Am I right? I can do something on my own, but even what we've been able to do, I feel like I've grown because of you guys, and hopefully we'll just show that this is a normal thing. This is a normal thing, right? Looking at the chat one more time, and then I'm getting into it, y'all. Oh my God, this is freaking awesome. And Kayla's in for On the First Friday We Fight. Okay, well, I'm gonna go because y'all are here and because time is precious. First, welcome and thank you to the panel. I will tell you thank you in ways outside of this. Thank you to all the people that are here. I like to joke that it's quarantine, so people didn't have that many options, but you don't have to be here and you don't have to be active. And so that you're here and you're engaging already is so much. Okay, so I'm your host and I have paper here, but I don't have to read my name. My name is Shani Crawford. And this here is the first episode of Discover Diversity. It's the inaugural episode, y'all. It means a lot to me. And it is titled Some Say Should I? Some Say Sorry. And an alternate title, which I've never shared with anyone outside of this panel, was Black Savage, White Savior. Okay, my panel has an outline, which we've practiced, and I'm totally gonna disregard it for 1 second. I had planned to talk about this part at the end of this Zoom Tube podcast, but I am compelled to say something now. I'm compelled to say something now because just in general, for Black people and for people, I think, there's just a lot of stuff in the air. And so it would be silly for me to pretend that there's not a lot of stuff. I'd like to look at it, and I can't fix it, but I want to look at it and then hopefully help us all push it aside so that the confusion and the frustration doesn't rob us from what I think is going to be super transformative. Even we're going to change again, panel. Okay, and so what I'm thinking a lot about are the riots right now. And a lot of my friends have contacted me to ask my perspective. And I neither condone nor condemn violence, but I understand. I was talking to a friend and I was like, the image that I see is someone, a nonviolent protester on their knees in the street, and their hands are tied behind them, and there's something in their mouth. And what's coming towards them is a bulldozer. And the driver of the bulldozer is saying, don't fret, don't fight, don't be angry. And if that sounds ridiculous, that's why I don't condemn it, but I also don't condone it, the violence that is. And that's why I'm so compelled to launch tonight. Tonight before the quarantine lifts and people are less available. And tonight because I really think I have an excellent alternative to violence and all of the other things. Okay, and so here are some things. Okay, and I'm going to read now. First and foremost, zero disrespect, zero disrespect for the First Peoples, but some respect for Black people for a million reasons. But I'm going to exercise self-restraint for once in my life. Here's the first reason, because in 2020 alone, Ahmaud, Brianna, Sean, Nina, George, Christian, okay? Because I haven't said all the names, because I could never say all the names, both because there are so many of them, and also because probably they haven't had the opportunity to be made known. Because historically, these kinds of things that are presently happening, while they're shocking and they're sad, in my experience, they tend to really only be life-altering for Black people. Because I'm young, I'm 37, y'all, and that's young. But for my first time, it feels like things feel like the way they should, or like the way that they are. And the way they are is that what's happening is humanly and universally tragic. Another way to say that is, and it's always been the case, if I can't breathe, none of y'all can breathe. Because, and I'm going to switch to a little more positive, I think, instead of desperation and uncertainty, this time oddly fills me with hope and even purpose. Like, I want to swing at this because I've had this dream for a long, long time, and I haven't released it out of fear of failure. Yeah, but not in failing as much as my failure disqualifying me from the act of dreaming, if that makes sense. I want to do this because what we're going to talk about, believe it or not, this is not the first time that this exact thing has happened to me, and probably tons of people like me, but I know it needs to be one of the last times. And then lastly, because this is my platform, y'all, and it's not much, but it is a whole lot to me. And I will build it up with every ounce of my energy to break down white supremacy. Yeah, I think I said it all. Okay, so business aside, we're getting back into the podcast according to the script, panel. The question that has governed our talks is this one: how is white supremacist feminism and ultimate silencing Black voices in the name of equity? This question is stunning, and it was gifted to us by Evelina Pierce. And actually, panel, if you would, could you go ahead and introduce yourselves to the people?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that. That was beautifully said. My name is Adriana Withers. I am the team lead at VC Ultimate, and I am very honored to be here talking about this with y'all.
I'm Evelina Pierce. The most recent teams I've played with are Atlanta Soul and Atlanta Bucket.
And I'm Maddie Fry. Shani, I was taking notes as always. And I'm the co-owner of Atlanta Soul, and I've also played for Atlanta Soul in the past.
Hey, okay. This is our distinguished panel. I will forever be in your debt. And could you guys try to tell the people in your words, from your perspective, why it matters that they're listening?
Absolutely. Well, I think this is off script. I don't know, but following your lead, because you are a leader, what you just said, this is humanely and universally tragic. This is why this is so important, and what happened needs to be talked about. I'm here to learn and to pay respect, to give thanks to my friend Shani, who has led this conversation in such a thoughtful way. I want to own my own role in how this happened and apologize and honor that apology with action and discussion. I think I've realized that I just want you to follow me around my life. Just so that's been said. I've realized I need to acknowledge white supremacy. I've realized that you see it through your own lens, and that's your own experience, and it is everywhere. And until we have these conversations and we humble ourselves to learn in new ways, this isn't going to get any better for anybody. And back to what you said so beautifully, universally tragic. We need to move past this. That's why I'm here.
I'm here, and I think the question is also why the audience should be here, Shani, is that correct? Is because I messed up and I need this conversation. I needed it to understand some things, to learn some things. I know I'm also not the only one, but I know that I hope we're a model of uncomfortable conversations. And I hope that this kind of is an entry point for some folks. But I know for me personally, I have been thinking about my own power a lot and examining it, and I've been trying to be a better listener. I hope this is a space where folks can be listeners and self-reflect. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, and I think that having conversations is just so important. I try to read a lot, but I do feel like, at least for me personally, a lot of growth comes from conversation.
Thanks, Ev. And I'm Maddie. Man, we have got to tell this story. And this thing happened, this example of white supremacy that Evelina and Adriana and I perpetuated, with me being the ringleader. And Shani really led us in a conversation like around it. And we realized like, we want to come out and tell the story. We want to share this. Like, this is an example of white supremacy in action. And we want to unpack it so that we can dismantle white supremacy. We need to know how to do it, right? We have to build our skills in doing it. And this is like these 4 people building our skills and then sharing it with others. And as we were building our skills, it wasn't without conflict. And we also wanted to, and Shani's been talking about this sort of like, this is about reconciliation, right? It's not about just fixing the problem. It's about like relationships. And we want to deepen our relationships through conflict. And a quote I heard that we've been talking about a lot is that conflict is the spirit of a relationship asking itself to deepen. And we were just like, yep, that's it. So yeah, we're here for it. And back to you, Shani.
Y'all just crushed that. If y'all enjoyed that, I really did too. I had an idea, but they are kind of off the script, which is wonderful because truth and relationships and all that stuff. What Maddie said was, we need to know how to break down white supremacy. Yes. And I think we need to know what white supremacy is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the history, the residue of white supremacy is recorded in human experience. And so that's why conversations. I can't say it any better, so we're moving on just for time's sake. What happened? What happened? I'm just gonna watch as they, again, put it back together for you. How did we get here, people?
Okay, we got here because a tweet went out on Soul's social media and a Facebook post that used the word savage. And when I saw that, I text my friend Maddie, a heads up. The context of which I've understood that word has been through the lens that I hold myself in Canada, having worked with and tried to learn a lot about Indigenous challenges in our country that have gone on since day one. And that word has been a hurtful, derogatory word to mean more so barbarian or less than human in that context. Now, what happened was that I sent a text to Maddie being like, and an article in that context without understanding who was speaking and the intent and the thoughtfulness behind the tweet that had been written. I assumed that it was written by a white person, to be honest, because that's how I assume the world works. People with a voice, people with positions of power, communicating to our community, mostly white. And so that's started this string of events that has led to this conversation, because that was obviously a very single white supremacist rooted view of what was going on in this situation.
And so I saw the post on Facebook, and it was a post of Troopsy in her Callahan video, and it said, "What a savage." And my first thought looking at that was that it was racist. I have been Troopsy's teammate. I was trying to blast the video on other social media things. And I thought, this is not cool to have what I see to be a racist thing wording about Troopsy. And so instinctively, without talking, pausing, having a discussion, I have managed the Souls. Well, like in the past, I was one of the people who contributed to Soul's social media, and I went in, edited the Facebook post to change the word savage to boss, and said, "What a boss." And then after I'd done that, I had like a sinking feeling in my stomach, like, eek, did not ask for permission, just did this, and texted Maddie and told her what I did and said, "Is this okay? I don't want to step on anybody's toes." But right, didn't really leave room for a conversation there.
Yep. And then I can. So, and I just wanted to say, we're talking a lot about white supremacy. And while I am very good at perpetuating white supremacy, I'm still learning about what exactly it is, and would encourage folks to continue to learn about it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. But there are experts, there are great consultants, there are people who have written books about it. And so we're talking about ways that we've perpetuated it, but we're not really trainers. We're not experts in this area. We're learning from and with Shani. So just a caveat there. So I was completely ignorant before receiving those texts that there was multiple meanings to the word savage to different communities. I initially just got those two texts within 30 seconds of each other, perhaps like totally coincidentally, and just felt overwhelmed and embarrassed. And like, oh God, is the Atlanta Soul social media account going to be like seen as perpetuating racism? And so I just had this knee-jerk reaction and was like, shoot, we gotta take this down. And I asked Shani to change it. And she was awesome. She was like, I don't want to take it down, or I don't want to change it, but I will take it down. And I'd like to talk with you about this later, which is what then eventually led to this discussion. And so Shani and I have been reading the book White Fragility over the last year and doing a ton of learning about that. And I've learned a ton from so many people, including a class I took very recently with Zara Kadu and a book club I'm in with Rita Fierro and Libby Smith through the Valuation Association. And through all of these different things, you know, we've been talking about how white supremacy prioritizes urgency over relationships. And this is just classic example of that happening. Like, did I ask Shani like what she thought? Did I, you know, give her an opportunity to kind of explain? No, I was just like, we need to take this down. I didn't know this about the word savage, and forwarded that article that Adriana had sent and was just like, you know, I didn't even have curiosity in my heart. I was just like, we got to take this down. And okay, so I'll pause there.
Dag, that was so good. And y'all, sorry that I'm like not looking. I think that's rude, but I'm trying to write stuff down so that I'm not just following an outline.
Do you want us to be on gallery view? Choopsy is asking.
Am I not on gallery?
We're on
Oh my
view.
gosh, oh Lord, y'all, oh man. I am sorry about that. That's rough because our faces were real small. Y'all probably can't even appreciate this top knot right here.
Yes.
And I put this top
Yes.
knot up because I hated how much I played with my hair in the dry run, if I'm honest. So I do have notes and stuff, and I'm looking down. And this is my first time ever doing this kind of thing. I hope to do it all the time, and I'll get better, but just bear with me. And I have to just say two things to the panel. Ev, I love this whole panel. Ev, thank you for saying what you said about after doing it, you had a bad feeling. And I don't know if this is true for other people, but it's true for me. Follow your instinct, okay? Like that might be a way that we dig into white supremacy. Like if you do something and then your fibers are saying, hey, no good, pause, just pause. The second thing Maddie said, true of everything, white supremacy, mathematics. Okay, we are all still learning. We're always still learning. Every day that I wake up, I'm like, well, I'm alive, so there's more to do and more to learn. That said, don't think that you need to solicit an expert or like get a certification to have these conversations. Not so. Because like I said in the very beginning, the subject is human. And so if you have a heart, you're qualified, okay? Period, the end. And so back to my part, what am I saying? What my intention was. Ev said that she had a thought for Choopsy. I also had a thought for Choopsy. But Ev didn't ask Choopsy. So I did ask Choopsy. But I'm going to start with this. And I'm sorry again for reading a little, but I think it's well said. Oh, I wanted to say why I'm reading. The reason I'm reading is because I have a lot of feelings and they're very strong. And I want you guys to be able to receive them. But I know that they're strong. So I've written them down, hopefully, in an attempt to cook them so that it's very easy for you guys to just take them. But also I'm not sacrificing anything on my end. Okay, so back to, I've got to keep saying this so I'm not misunderstood. Zero disrespect for Native people, but some respect for Black people. In my experience, social justice, advocacy, even these positive things operate from a place of privilege, yeah? And so in both cases, with justice or fighting for yourself, the effect, like the standard, is double Okay, let me try to explain this. So like many times, and even probably y'all know, I am energetically asked to come alongside everybody for everything. And I love to, so I do. But I can't say that I have the same confidence that if I asked everybody to come alongside me for everything, I would get the same support. Okay, so that's, even with that said, I am one person. I can't speak for Black people, but that might be the case for a lot of us, not able to get help, not able to get people to stand next to us during our most difficult times. But even if that is the case, Black people press on, am I right? I just want you to be impressed. Even without enough resources, even if we're not legitimate, or we don't have agency or clean water or freedom or whatever, I'm just gonna mention 3 things that Black people have done. And I'm trying to paint a picture here, okay? Million Man March, dang, 95. And it took place at the DC Mall. And it was 1 million people. Can you believe it? I can't even fathom it. That seems big and disruptive. And I believe that it was because in 97, there was the Million Woman March. And so seeing how well the method worked for Black men, Black women were like, let's do this for ourselves / strengthen the plight or the fight for Black freedom, humanity, shoot. Another thing is in 2007, that was the initial year, y'all probably heard of her, the creator of the Me Too movement and hashtag. What's her name, chat? Okay, her name is Tarana Burke. And like I said, zero disrespect to natives, but some respect for Black people, same thing, but it's not natives anymore, it's white women. So zero disrespect to white women, but some respect for Black people. Tarana made up the movement because where 1 in 5 white women report rape, 1 in 15 Black women report rape. Again, F rape, y'all. Nobody should get raped, but the discrepancy is huge. And so Tarana was like, I'm gonna try to do something. Maybe her motivation was personal, but so what? Okay, so we have endured. I feel like I say this all the time, that I fight this fight uphill. I literally fight, which is already hard on flat ground, but I fight this fight uphill. And then to me, to add insult to injury, it feels like sometimes white people, and what I actually want to say is white women, but I'm afraid, but I just said it, they appropriate the method of successful Black causes. And they do it, and they don't have any understanding of what produced the method or the experience of the struggle. And so many times their appropriation falls flat. And I think of this idea, if I talk about it, I call it selective engagement. I think that white women have the option of choosing to use all of their resources or not, and they don't get in trouble. But I don't think the same is true for me. Yeah, because I give all of my resources and then I get in trouble for directing them towards what keeps me up at night. Back to falling flat, just very quickly. So the Million Man and Woman marches were appropriated in the form of the Women's March on DC, right? So that's 2016. And I didn't go because I was selectively disengaging. I just didn't want to drive to DC and protest because I protest in Publix. And so I don't know what that march accomplished. I have an image of a whole bunch of women in pink hats on their head. I'm not going to say the word, but I don't want my movement image to be that. I'm just trying to help y'all see what fall flat looks like to me. Not only so, if you think about Me Too, and the origin of it. And I think about what it's been able to accomplish in its renovation by Alyssa Milano 10 years after its introduction. And I think about one Black, male, wealthy, cultural icon that the Me Too movement successfully ripped from Black wealth and worth. I'm not validating what happened, but I'm just saying the man was a rib to me. And that's fine because Me Too took care of the problem. But I know that Alyssa's motivation wasn't the man I'm talking about. It was Harvey Weinstein. And I'm like, okay, what's he doing? He's not in jail. He's paid a lot of money. And I looked this up today, y'all. In the last 17 hours, he's had 4 new charges brought against him. I just say that to say, it just makes me, I'll say it like this, to each his own. Yes, do whatever moves you, but also to each his own before hijacking a movement for your cause. Either spend more time handling your cause to come up with something authentically moving about it, or no disrespect, pick up a more inspiring cause. You hear what I'm saying? I hope y'all aren't mad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then fast way forward, the goal of my entire thing, Ed said, I saw the post and I thought of Choopsy. When I got the update of the stuff that was happening, I thought of Choopsy and I reached out to her because I didn't ask her. I didn't ask her, y'all. And I felt bad. And I said, dang, Choopsy, how do you feel about this? I told her my intention. And then she reminded me that I am her and she is me. And so my goal with Choopsy was this. I think she's in this chat right now. I don't know if y'all know her. If you know her, you are blessed. If you don't know her, do what you can. I am obviously partial. I'm her teammate. I'm her coach. I'm her friend. That's probably my highest honor. I try to be a mentor to her, and she's also a mentor to me. She's a 2020 Georgia Tech graduate and rec team captain, 3rd year running. And she asked me well before its release if I could help her promote her Callahan video. And she's awesome. So yes, yes, I didn't say that. Huh. I wrote, she's a savage. Okay. Not only is she awesome though, she's a Black woman. Yeah. Okay. And so my other goal was, we're currently in an age of technology. And so maybe y'all know, maybe you don't know, I was my team's Callahan nominee. And my coach, Eileen, you might be in the chat, told me I was in the top 10. I don't know, because there was nothing, like no videos, nothing. And so when I heard this, I thought, oh my goodness, she's like the 2nd or 3rd Black woman in the age of this technology, Callahan nominee, to be able to reach the masses. And I heard that and I thought that and I ran with it. I'm like looking at this, I'm like thinking about how much I've said, I'm thinking about my feelings. And I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna look at the chat. Yes. So that I know if I need to say a lot. And I also wanna say hello to some people real quick. Panel, are y'all okay? Was that okay? Because that was not on the script or whatever.
Go, do it.
Okay. So I'm like, here are some, wow, holy crap. Okay, first of all, thank you, helpers. And they just pretty much sent me the whole chat, so that's crazy. David Braden, Michael Layer, Ryan Kendall, Kelly Ross, Kelly Rustin, Corrine, Carolyn, Norm, oh my gosh. Nathaniel Gardner, Big Moan, let's get it. Claudia, I love you. Spartanol, I'm not gonna say your name. You are my partner, buddy. Jay Chill, that's Jay Chill. She's a burning skirt. Oh my God, this is gonna take forever. If I don't say your name, I love you the most. Jenna Weiner, holy crap. She bought my jersey, y'all. That's wild. Me win. Okay, I am stopping. That's good. Okay, said a lot. I feel like I did good on that. Okay, I'm gonna finish with this, and I'm gonna stop giving you guys so many facts because I don't want to beat you, but I do have more facts, and if you want them, hit me up. And so she's a Black woman, and opportunity to give platform and visibility, but also selfishly, I think I kind of had the idea of, I hope that y'all have heard of this dance challenge that's currently going on. It's the Savage Dance Challenge. The composer is Megan Thee Stallion. Very recently won. Beyonce Knowles remixed it. She's the queen. And so as I fell in love with this challenge, what I saw looked a lot to me like what is happening with what has happened with the N-word. Savage is bad, bad, bad. It's a bad term. It's a disparaging term, like the N-word. And so it's not going away. And for that reason, I think the artist is trying to redefine it. And so I wanted to promote Gypsy, give her platform. And I also, a little selfishly, wanted to help participate in this historical rewrite. Yeah. Okay. I've been talking for a long time. I'm passing it off. Are y'all ready? Do you know where we are? What did you learn? Okay, let's go.
Thank you for that. Facts. I love the facts. Appreciate the facts. I've learned a lot in this. I think we've all learned a lot, which has been just amazing. Sorry, fly. I definitely learned that I need to recognize and deconstruct my own bias and open my eyes to the different lenses of the different individuals in the world. It's not easy to say I'm wrong, but we're wrong every day because all we know is that we don't know everything. Like there's just so much to learn and so much to open our minds to and perspectives to appreciate and absorb and respect. And I think like you use the word, the term white supremacy, and we all get extremely nervous because I'm not a white supremacist. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Oh, that's bullshit. You know, it's sorry, language. It's without recognizing that this is a part of everyday life and that it's a part of everybody's in our community's life, then we're not going to be able to universally support each other in our own experiences. And like what you said about you'll come along, and yeah, since the minute I met you, anytime I've come up with an idea, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that idea, and then you're going to do that idea and blow it out of the water, right? And it's not your job to educate white people, you know. And it's like it's this idea of there's relatively few people of color in our community, and to expect and to ask them to teach us these lessons when we're not willing to have these hard conversations ourselves, I think is something that I want to make sure never happens again in my life. And I just want to step up to the table and have the hard conversations. And I think the other thing we talked about is that once you trust intent and you build these connections with people and you know that you want to learn and be better and support and amplify voices, it's not as scary as we thought it was. You know, it's like, this is you've created as safe a space, and I can't wait for this future ones to come too. But this is it's just the work has to get done. We can't not do it any longer. And that's what I've learned in this process and throughout the news that's happening every day. And it couldn't be more timely. Like there's not tomorrow, today, right? And so that's what I've learned.
So I just wanted to own, right, I should have never edited a page that like I had been editing it the year previous and I didn't even know who was posting on this page, right? It really wasn't my place. And I want to call out like that is like a white thing to do, right? To think, okay, I have a place here to do this thing where I really don't have any role doing that, right? That is not my place. Then I also just want to speak to, I've been thinking about, we have been 3 white women being offended on the behalf of people of color. And it really doesn't matter if we feel offended on the behalf of people of color. It matters if people of color are offended and what they think. And I do want to hear more voices, like be a listener. I want to be a listener, and make sure that if I feel that I am advocating, while being a listener, I guess. I also want to own that, like just after this, we started having our conversation, I was on a different social media Instagram that I was managing. I was going to post about a player who had played on a team with only 7 people. And I was grappling to find a word to use. And it made me realize that I had been using this as an adjective to describe playing with only 7 people for a full game or a full tournament, right? And so that just, I don't know, right? It illuminates that it has been in my own mouth saying this too.
That was great, both of you. So many things I've learned, Shini. The first and biggest one is to slow down, right? And we've talked about this so much, and I make this mistake so often. And thank you for sticking with me. And it's just like, slow down, just slow down. And then when I slow down, I can listen, and I can like turn my ears on and hear like what's actually happening around me. And I didn't do that in this case. And in this case, I basically let the words of 2 white women sort of speed up my sense of urgency and speak over your voice, the Black voice, in this conversation. And that's hence the title of this talk. And that is like a classic example of like my own kind of internalized sense of white superiority. Like, oh, I know what's best. I don't know what's best. Shani is our director of operations. She's been doing that very well for over a year. She has we worked so hard on our social media, and this amazing social media plan is in place at Shani's leadership. And she's been doing it without really much supervision at all from Angela and I for many, many months. So how is it that all of a sudden my like shame around being called out, on this thing allows it to like overtake all of that information that I just shared with you about Shani's role on Soul and her like previous amazing performance in that role? So that happened. And I am also learning like we don't have to have all the answers. Like I think in the moment I thought like, oh, this is bad. Like I sort of had that black-white thinking, like this is bad, and it was more complicated than that. Like I'm not going to use the word savage, in the future now that I have this information, but that doesn't mean I have the right to police others' use of that word. And I don't want to do that. And that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is not breaking down the use of the word savage. This podcast is about an example of white supremacy and how it played out and how I really perpetrated that. And this is yucky, it just like feels bad, but this is where we're at. And so the last learning is like, okay, let's share it, let's share this with our community. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, if you feel yucky, I feel wonderful. I'm sorry that you feel yucky. I'm sorry if any of you feel yucky.
Not now.
Come to where I am. I feel so good. And I agree that this isn't, this shouldn't be our job, but I want this to be my job, even though I'm a Black person. And it is more than a job. It's actually my healing, y'all. Like I was in a way because my friends hurt my feelings. And then I talked with my friends and then I was okay. Okay. And so it's my turn. What does it mean to be savage? In ultimate, I literally already had that written down. And then Ev said it. Okay, be impressed. What does it mean in ultimate or in Central Park or in Minneapolis or on a jog or while you're asleep? Before I tell you my thoughts, I'd love to hear yours. I got you. I have to do this right now, and I'll only do it on this episode. That's not true. And I have to read because this is the most important part, okay? But I'll still use energy so it's not boring. If tonight has been any good, and I'm just going to assume that it is, and I can't see your faces, so I'm probably right. That's because I have a team. I have a team. There are so many people helping me do all kinds of things like log in chat moderators and send me pictures of the live stream. I got friends praying for me, y'all. Just people all over the place are holding up this entire endeavor. So be impressed. And a shout out to my main partner in equity. I don't want to say her name, but she knows who she is. And if anyone knows me, they know who she is. I'm so thankful for you, but I can't spend too much time because I'll cry. But she helped me make a form so that we can engage with one another. Okay. And to say it simply, I'm going to put the link for this form in the video description of this YouTube, which I will put on the correct Discover Diversity channel at the conclusion of this broadcast. Okay. And very quickly, inside that form, there are 4 ways for you to engage with me. The first one is we're going to give you DEI resources related to the theme of that episode. Yeah. I would try to tell you what some of the things are, but I don't have time and I can't remember. Another way to engage, and I'm so nervous to ask for this part because I think that this is the most important work that I've ever done. But I don't know if people are ready to recognize it as essential work. But the form includes a way for you to support me and my equity work with your dollars. And you can do so in 2 ways. Maybe like buy me a coffee by sending me a one-time PayPal donation. Coffee is therapy. I'll freaking take it. Another way is using an app called Patreon. I always say it wrong. Yes. Essentially, you can subscribe to me as like a monthly visitor. Yeah. Okay. And then also the third way for y'all to engage with me on this forum is evaluation. And I need this so that I can do better. So it's going to have questions about the content, the process. And then the last way for you to engage with me, which is my favorite way, and I kind of mentioned it, it's called Be My Guest. That's wild. It's almost like I have a show or something with which to invite people to talk. Okay. And so Be My Guest. All of the instructions are there. But like I said with Kayla, if you just want to come talk, hit me up. If you have an idea that you'd like to be talked, hit me up. Yeah. Okay. I think I covered that well. And so now it's time to say what I learned, but instead of hearing it from me, you're going to hear it from someone who is me. And I'm going to bring her in right now. Hey, let's go. Is she muted? Yes. Got you. Okay. You're here and we're all ears, buddy. Hello. You ready? You
Hi.
okay?
I think my sound is on.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, what I just want to talk about is kind of what has already been said about my Callahan video. So when I first started playing Ultimate, one thing that people would do to get you hooked on to the sport is showing you these Callahan videos. Basically just like showing you all these people who are really good and hopefully, you know, you can be that good. I have played competitive sports my whole life. So when I started playing Ultimate, I was like, cool, I'm going to be good enough to have one of these videos. And so I worked really hard, and now I got to this place where I have this video. But over time, while I was going through the process of getting better, and just like learning more about Ultimate and the community, it started to mean more than just like this award of like being the best player in the division, nominated, like voted by people who are playing. With things like learning from Shani and like also just from the community I'm surrounded by, I saw that majority of these Callahan videos didn't have people with Black and brown skin. I was looking at all these videos, more specifically now, like talking about the women's division. And at the time, I want to say like maximum like 5 videos of Black or brown women playing, like with these Callahan videos. And so then kind of my purpose behind it switched from this award to wanting to increase awareness, and like representation. So people who are currently playing, know that you can also be considered the best in your division when you have Black or brown skin. And then for me, it kind of went even further as to saying you can have Black and brown skin and be the person and the face of this college team. You are what is representing our college team. And like, that's what it says to me more than anything. Where like, I don't think that in a lot of programs we take our Black and brown players and make them believe that they are the face of the team. So that's majority of the reason why I wanted this video, was so like young girls, people who are already in college can see that you can be the face of your team even if your team doesn't look like you. So yeah.
Ooh, that was deep. That was deep. I'm so glad that you stopped talking right then, because I don't like to cry in public. And so with all that she said, we are going to honor the original intention of the post entitled She's a Savage, which she is, by now playing her Callahan video. If for some reason technology fails, the head moderator is going to drop the link into the chat. So watch with us, watch later, share it so that there aren't any more choopsies, so that she doesn't have to feel compelled to be the first one. Okay. On the field, she's like a Swiss Army knife. Whatever the game or your team is in need of, Choops has got it in her bag.
Beyond her playing experience, she's also an exceptional leader. As a total combined package, she's the embodiment of leadership and spirit of the game.
You better move. You better move. Ooh, 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 you better move. 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 My whip on 22. I saw your girl. I had to scoop just like a bird. She gonna swoop. Neck is out you. Might get the flu. Banana clip straight from the zoo. I'm like, Mother Goose. If I say shoot, they gonna shoot. No, I'm not sweet. I just got flavor. Don't need no water to mix up this juice. They say why your chain it look like a joker. That's for the slaves that had to wear the noose. No, you can't cuff me, baby, let me loose. The way that I live, baby, that's a rule. Matching closet, it came with a pool. Bro moving 8 bars, not no pool. If you ask me his name, then I don't have a clue. Make him hit the folks every time that I shoot. Too much money, I'm evil from the root. Yeah, my shows, they bust right through the roof. Saw your crowd at your concert on Snooze. I'm a dog, y'all holler at the moon. I remember cable. No. When I used to watch Zoom. Ooh, you better move. 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 Louis my shoes. Pull out my whip on 22. I saw your girl. I had to squeak. Just like a bird. She gonna swoop. Neck is hot too. Might catch the flu. Banana clip. Straight from the zoo. I live my life like a cartoon. Reality is not my move. I don't know why that girl so rude. Oh, that's cause I'm cheese. They from rude. You better have you a real good excuse. He wants to smoke, but I don't got a juice. I'm like, mother goose. If I say shoot, they gonna shoot. Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, you wanna do? Blue eyes, white dragon, no, I will not lose. When I hit my desk, got unlimited moves. Counting 12,000 and that was by noon. Yeah. Step on competition, changing my shoes. Green shirt, some Steve wears blue. Every chain on, I pity your food. On my iPod, man, you more like a Zoom. Made her eat on my with a spoon. Ew. Versace draws, you fruit of the loom. Yeah, yeah, fruit of the loom. You better move. Ooh, 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 you better move. 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 Louis my shoes. Pull out my whip on 22. I saw your girl. I had to squeak. Just like a bird. She gonna swoop. Neck is hot too. Might catch the flu. Banana clip. Straight from the zoo. Whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dang, I'm so mad at myself. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I just pushed pause before I got to the best part, Tuesday. I'm so sorry. Oh man, but they can look at your face right now. Look at her face right now. Can you make the face? Okay. And also segue
Put it as
game.
gallery view so they can see her face.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Choopsy, make a noise and then look right at the camera. Make a noise so that it will go to your face. All right, go.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, solid. Segue game super strong. That song just said, you better move. And I'm going to say, you all better move the dial of social justice. Am I right? What do I think about the role of the word savage in Ultimate and in life? I think about it all the time now, like Ev, maybe. And I think simply, it is a lot like the N word in that it has the potential to become like a badge or like an identity marker. And as a result, it'll be like a protection to us because only we have ownership. And so people can't use it against us, if that makes sense. But I think better than the N word, the word savage has the real potential to transcend all of the things that are traditionally held up by white supremacy, things like race and class and rhythm. Shout out to my favorite Ultimate team, Georgia Tech Brick, who I hope y'all saw and all of the promo, who helped me try to prove this idea that anybody can take up this cause and fight. Doesn't matter what you look like. And I often tell my friends, and by friends, I mean anyone who gets like on the phone with me, because nobody really has to go. I told them that I see life in one line, okay? Not a line like this, as if it's already happened. Sorry if that's backwards for y'all. I have no idea. But a line like this, like it's before us, because it hasn't happened. And since it's happening, we don't really know what to expect. We are sort of flying blind. We're flying blind in a storm, and that storm is the navigation of race, I guess, flying blind in a storm, and nobody has logged near enough hours. Am I right? It's deep. And I said we're flying, so it's high. But don't forget, it's also human. And so everybody, even if you don't have a pilot's license, get in the plane and fly. Yeah. Expect and prepare for turbulence, because we can't just Thanos snap and restore a society that never existed. But we can all build it. Am I right? We can all take steps every day. We're taking steps right now, I think. Today's step is unlearning the idea of Black savagery. Not only so, we are being better equipped, this is my favorite part, to together actively rewrite the narrative that is true, a true representation of the preciousness of Black lives. Am I right? And as we do, whenever y'all hear this, know that we're closing. This is my tagline, y'all, as if I have a show or something. And as we do, let's share all that we learn with anyone who will listen, you in your way and me in mine. Keep discovering diversity until the next time. It's 8:30, y'all. Can you believe it? I love you all. Bye-bye.